Hello, Pearl it is?
Yes.
Welcome. I'm Brenda McAlpin. It's good
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you. So glad you could make it today. How was traffic getting over here? Any trouble?
Not too bad.
Okay. I just noticed your address was about 30 minutes away, so I just want to be sure everything went well getting here.
Mm.
Okay. Tell me kind of how you knew about this place, what brought you here, and
I was talking to my friends, and she recommended I come see you.
okay. All right. I'm glad you came. Um, Tell me kind of what's been going on.
Some family issues.
Okay. Anything in particular?
Mm, I came out to my parents.
Okay. It sounds like that was really tough for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let me just share with you before we kind of get started, kind of how I work. Anything that you say to me remains confidential. The only time that I would ever have to share it with anyone is if you said I want to hurt myself or someone else, or if you disclose some sort of abuse that had happened to you or to a child or an elderly person or a disabled person. Those are the only times anything else that you share stays here with me. Okay. So this is kind of a delicate topic because it involves your relationship with your family, and I know that has to be really tough. Are you talking with your family now? Are you interacting with them at all since this happened?
No,
Okay.
I walked out, and my mom cried. My dad didn't say anything, so I walked out.
Okay. Have they reached out to you at all, or you to them? How do you feel about that?
Mm, Sad.
Any other emotions that you have with that?
Probably mad. Yeah.
Where does the emotions fit in with how you're dealing with daily life at this point?
I'm okay.
Okay. Okay is not a real feeling type word. Is there another feeling you might associate with okay? I mean, are you, or an action or a reaction? Are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? How are you doing on a day to day basis?
Probably not
Probably not.
sleeping
Uh-huh.
as well as I had been sleeping before I came out. Yeah.
Okay. How many hours do you think you sleep on average?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 3, 4, if
Okay.
I'm lucky.
Okay. And are you awakening during the night and just can't get back to sleep, or just restless all night, or what does that look
Just
like?
restless.
Okay. Right. Well, that can't feel very good to not really feel rested each day and then be dealing with the emotional feelings that you're feeling right now as a result of having your family not maybe react as well as you might have hoped. Is that what I'm understanding you
Mhm.
to possibly be thinking or feeling at this point?
Mhm.
Okay. In your family, is it just you, or do you have other siblings, or
No, I have a sister and a brother.
okay? And have you come out to any of them?
Yes.
Okay. And what was their reaction?
They were fine.
Okay. So you've had positive reactions on some counts and not so great of reactions with your parents.
Mhm.
Okay. I think one of the things that I'd like to do with you today is what we call an eco map. And that's just to kind of give us an opportunity to kind of put pen and paper to what your relationships are with each of those persons so that we can kind of explore that a little bit together. Maybe kind of define where you've been together and then perhaps where you are now with them. Is that something you'd be willing to do with me?
I'll try.
Okay, cool. I just sort of sketched out a few things. I put, you are always in the center of an eco map. So I have your name here in the very center, and then I have your brother and a sister, and then some other things that impact your life, perhaps church, perhaps your work, your family being your parents, or your family being if you're in a relationship with someone as well. Um, so, what happens here with an eco map is you're always in the center of an eco map, and the relationships surround you. And what I'm looking for from you is kind of if your relationship goes back and forth and it flows really well between you, then you would draw an arrow similar to what I've drawn here of the going out and coming back in. So you're giving from yourself and you're receiving from that person in a positive way. If there's kind of a broken relationship, then you mimic that by this dotted line that you would put between you and them. And then if it's just kind of stressful, you would write that, okay? And that helps us just to kind of define where you're at in your different relationships in your life and kind of how they're impacting you so that we can kind of go from there and gives us a starting point. Does that sound like something you can do for me?
Sure.
Okay. So if you don't mind, if you just go ahead and kind of, if you have questions, feel free to ask me, but just kind of go through and just mark from here to here what those relationships look like going back and forth.
So this is for parents?
That can be your parents, and then up here, let's say if you have a relationship with a spouse or something, let's make that your spouse, because I wasn't sure how many siblings you had until you came.
Well,
okay.
She's adopted, so I don't know if I should include.
Oh, okay. Well, you can include her as well.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay, so you're single, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Then if you want to just put in those for me here.
Okay. This is after coming out or before coming out? Because before coming out,
well,
I had a good relationship.
Let's go with after coming out, where they're at, and you can write the before on. I don't think from what you've described, has your relationship really changed with your brother and sister? Okay. So since the relationship's changed with your family, let's go ahead and identify what it was like before and what it was like after, and you can write that above it so that we can kind of differentiate.
Okay, before it was good.
So it was back and forth, reciprocal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right now is not so good.
It's broken. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? Do you feel like that break is both ways or one way?
Probably both ways.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and put a second line in there like that so that we know that it goes both directions, that it's broken both ways.
Oh. Like that.
Okay. Yeah. And then how about your brother?
No, it's still good.
Both ways?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. And the sisters, the adoptive sister, you didn't mention her at first. Okay.
Good.
All right. How about work?
Work is good.
Okay. And church? Are you involved in church?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So in truth, your relationships have all been really well, gone really well until this recent event. Okay. And everybody's been real accepting, except was one parent or the other more accepting, or just both about equal? You said mom cried.
Mm-hmm. But she hasn't called or said anything.
But dad hasn't either. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I know that has to really hurt to not have the interaction. It sounds like, I think the one thing that I know is that when you experience something, they go through something as well. And it sounds like they're probably on a journey to try to discover how they really feel about everything, but it's hurtful in the moment when you're experiencing it. What have you done other than coming here today, which is a huge positive step for you, but what other things have you done to try to take care of yourself? Do you have support system around you through church or through your work? Are there other people involved in your life that are aware of what you're going through? Do you have anybody that you share these things with?
Just friends.
Okay. So you have some close friends that know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how has that helped you? What sorts of things are they able to give you think that makes it better?
They just told me to be patient and things like that.
Okay. That's a lot of good advice. Still hurts though, right? Okay. Well, when you come in on your next session, what I'd like to do is discuss a little bit more about your mom and dad and kind of see where you're at. I would encourage you to take some time to just reflect on the positiveness of your relationship that you have had in the past and understand that you're both on a journey. This is all fresh and new to them, and it's going to take them a little bit of time to figure out how they feel. And just as it took you probably a long time to tell them, you have to give them a little bit of time to process that so that they understand how to relate to you. And I would encourage you to, if you know people that are mutual friends of yours, to surround them with support right now too, because it's new for them, and allow them to have the opportunity to learn perhaps something, a different side of life that maybe they're not real familiar with, because sometimes that happens as well. But let's explore a little bit more how things are going the next time that you come in. Do I have you on the appointment book yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get you penciled in, and we'll see you the next time.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.